Good morning. It's 11:06 a.m. in Vernon, British Columbia. This is Arlo Johnson checking in, saying hello, hope you're well. And I thought today we'd do a little Canadiana. Got to be a very famous poem. The Cremation of Sam Mcgee. I thought maybe we'd talk about that a little bit. You know, in fact, maybe we should take a look at the poem. You know, he starts off by saying that there are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who mold for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make a man's blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake Labarge when I cremated Sam Mcgee. Now, Sam Mcgee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the south to roam, round the pole, God only knows. He was always cold in the land of gold, and it seemed to hold him like a spell. Though he'd often say in his homely way that he'd sooner live in hell. On a Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold through the parka's fold. It stabbed like a driven nail. Our eyes we'd close when the lashes froze till we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam Mcgee. On that night we laid packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed, and the stars overhead were dancing, heel and toe. He turned to me and said, "Cap," says he, "I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking you that you won't refuse my last request." Well, it seemed so low. He seemed so low, actually, and that I couldn't say no. And he says with a sort of a moan, "It's the cursed cold, and it's got me a hold, and I'm chilled clean through to the bone. But it isn't that being, that's not being dead that's my awful dread of the icy grave and the pain. So I want you to swear by foul or fair that you'll cremate my last remains. A pal's last need is a thing to heed. So I swore I would not fail, and we started out on the streak of dawn. Oh God, but he looked ghastly pale. He crouched on the sleigh and raved all day of his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all there was left of Sam Mcgee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death, so I hurried, horror-driven, with a corpse half hid, and I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. I was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, "You promised, but you promised true, and it's up to you to cremate these last remains. Now promises made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart I cursed that load. In the long, long night by the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows." Oh God, how I hate that thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed heavy and heavier to grow. And I went on through, the dogs were spent, and the grub was running low. The trail was bad, and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to that hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin, till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. And I looked at it, and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum, and there, I said, with a sudden cry, is my creation, my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found lying around and heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared in the furnace roared, and a blaze you seldom see. And I buried a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam Mcgee. Then I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so, you know. And the wind scowled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And the greasy smoke in an icy cloak went streaking down the sky. I don't know how long in the snow I wrestled with this grisly fear, but the stars came out and they danced about ere I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll take a peek inside. I guess he's cooked. And this time I looked, and the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm, in the heat of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile you could see for a mile. And he said, please close the door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear that you'll let in the cold and the storm. Oh, yes. And since I left, it's fine in here, but I greatly fear you're going to let in the cold and the storm. Since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that will make a man's blood run cold. The Northern Lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake Labarge when I cremated Sam Mcgee. Doodly 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 dip dip dip. That's it, folks. That's it. We'll say goodbye, good night, and God bless. Thank you.